This is Tom, our superintendent of Bellevue Community School District in Bellevue, Iowa, coming to you with this week's Believe in the Blue update. I want to give you an update from the board meeting last evening and just a couple other things. We had a great Veterans Day program here. We had Rick Ernst speak as one of the headline speakers at the program. The American Legion in Bellevue did an outstanding job of putting together a great program. Also had performances by the Bellevue High School Band, Marquette Catholic and Bellevue High School vocal groups, and also Allison Wright sang a solo along with many other typical Veterans Day things. So a very good program in that regard, recognizing our veterans and all who have served our country over the many years. So thank you for everyone for coming out for that. We had a great crowd once again. On that note, I want to tell you about a couple other things coming up that way, big events. We have a winter concert. December 11th is the preschool through 5th grade. That will start at 6:15 with preschool, and then K through 2 will start at roughly 7:15. And then around 7:45, we will start up with the other groups that way as well. So just so you're kind of aware, the middle school concert is December 20th, and the high school concert, don't want to forget that is December 17th. That way, so just to give you information that way. Some recommendations for hire approved last night. Scott Jess will become the high school boys track coach. He is our cross country coach right now. And he's been an assistant track coach. We also have Josh Keeter is assistant high school girls basketball coach. And then we have a volunteer assistant girls basketball coach, is Travis or TJ Mickles. The common curriculum presentation we had last night was a wonderful one. We had several examples from students in their work, specifically with the Bellevue Big program. We had Hunter Clausen and Trey Doherty talked about the Bellevue Big Honey Project. We had some tech students talk about a building of computers that they're doing for a fraction of a cost of a new computer that's more powerful. We talked about RAM and work keys and all the things like that way that they explained very well. But that was Marcus Anderson, Peyton Marshall, Conrad Ernst, and Andrew Swartz. Excuse me. We also had the Kids That Care program discussion, and that was Gianna Mickles, Brianna Laughlin, and Madison Weber. Rock at the Dock was one of the things there that Toby Giesman has been working on. That way to bring a band or bring some bands into the summer once again. June 1st is a date he's tentatively planning. Has that arranged with the chamber already. The Kids That Care program, just so you know, is a backpack program sending food home to needy families that way. We'll also be having a program where they can pick up other food here at the middle school, high school, provided by St. Stephen's in Dubuque that way. And then the final thing, we had an aquaponics presentation, and that was in Mr. Cook's room, but that was by Anna Dunn, Mason Jackson, Ben Parker, and Trevor Hager talking about the fish and the lettuce that's growing. Check out the Facebook page. You see some lettuce that's really growing. I'm trying to still upload the videos that we took from that evening that way as well to put on Facebook. But an excellent program that way. Also had an enrollment review and board discussion about that. Our enrollment is up, as the TH pointed out last week. Over the last 5 years, we're up 6.3%. One of the few schools actually in Eastern Iowa with an increasing enrollment, and actually across the state population or the enrollment for schools has been going down, so that was a positive. We've also looked at several pages of property tax data to salary costs and everything like that. We are in the low part in regard to property tax and right in the middle or even low in some areas for our salaries for anywhere from teachers to administrators to paraprofessionals to bus drivers on down the line that way. Excuse me. We also had a facilities discussion that way, talking about some meetings we have with the core facilities team. Met April 30th, excuse me, not April 30th, October 30th and November 6th that way. We have another meeting coming up shortly, but talking about we're revising the plan for the elementary building and when that next vote will be. We're eligible to vote already in April, or it could be in June, it could be in August, or it could be in November. Still working on some things, but trying to readjust the building program. Right now, we are taking about 20% of the space off, which limits us significantly. We want to make sure we're not taking too much off to serve our students, but we're looking at that and then trying to figure out how much that will cost us that way. So you'll hear more information in the future that way. We also had to look at ACT test scores and analysis, and I want to point out that Dubuque Telegraph-Herald had an article in about our scores, and the one thing they did not put in that I've contacted them about is we test all of our high school juniors each year, and that is a reflection that is not typical but that was not shared in the article. When we look at how our graduating seniors do at the end, we are above the state average. In fact, when we looked at top 60%, which is about the amount of students statewide who take the test, the state average is 21.0 in English. We're at 23.2. Math, the state average is 21.2. We're at 22.4. Reading, state average is 22.5. We're at 25.0. Science, state average is 22.0. We're at 23.3, and composite, we're at 21.8, and as a state average, and we're at 23.2. So when we look at taking our top students, we are outperforming most schools on that list, but that wasn't mentioned. And TH does a great job of getting information out, but I do want to point out because that is a big thing. School Budget Review Committee, this is not extra tax money or anything like that. It is spending authority. It is not tax money. It is not actual money. It's just authority to spend money. And based on our new enrollment this year, we will get about $95,710.80 in new authority that way. We talked about some board policies that we are going to review again at the December meeting. Anywhere from animals in classrooms, specifically therapy dogs or assistance animals, I guess therapy dogs or therapeutic dogs. Talk about technology and data security updates, emergency plan updates we'll be working on, and public participation in meetings and public complaints that way. Just things that the Iowa Association of School Boards is recommending that we take a look at, not just us, but any district in the state of Iowa. We also had a book called The End of Average, and I found it very interesting. There will be an excerpt of that, actually is already on the website. If you go to Superintendent, Comment Highlights, you will see this, but it talks about how no one is average. Anyone listening to this, we could do an average weight and average height, but we would find that no one actually fits that average. They're going to talk about fighter planes in World War II and how they designed the cockpits for the average size pilot. What they found was no one was average size, and they were having crashes and things like that. Ultimately comes about, this is where adjustable seats, adjustable steering wheels, and all those things come about on cars and other things. The point I made here is with Bellevue Big, as one example, that not everything fits every student. What are their interests? Where are they going with that? The curriculum, as I have written on the comment highlights, you'll see is, what about the standards? Not every student meets the standards at the same time. Not every student will meet them in the same exact way, and we have to be aware of that. So The End of Average, a very good book. I would strongly recommend it. In fact, if anyone wants a copy, feel free to contact me. It is actually by an individual by the name of Todd Rose, who dropped out of high school, struggled, and now he's actually a professor at Harvard University. Talk about the legislative update. Carrie Coker, I have contacted her, and she plans on visiting the district. She is our new state senator, replacing Todd Bowman. And then I talked to Andy McKean as well. He will once again represent us. And Andy is planning on coming to our December 10th meeting at this time. Carrie has an initial meeting in Des Moines, December 10th and 11th, but we'll be stopping out some other time. So congratulations to both of them for what they have accomplished, and I really appreciate all the work that they've done and all the work that they will continue to do. Jeanette Hartung-Schrader talked about the 5th grade Heritage Center that students went to for Amelia Earhart. It's about the winter concerts. Jeff talked about Jeff Raker talked about the Veterans Day Assembly and student opportunities, where we've been taking students to NICC, to UNI, to Kirkwood, and on that way. There are also some notes in there about the referendum results, and I also talked about things with marketing. One thing I want to point out is we serve over 17,000 breakfasts per year in the Bellevue Community School District and over 100,000 lunches in the Bellevue Community School District. Pretty amazing amount. On that note, I'm going to let everyone go. Have a great day, have a great week, and we will talk to you again next weekend. Have a great one.